I'd like some blankie, please. Thank you.
Come on, camera.
Welcome back to another episode of Chit Chats with Chris and Carlie. We thought we wanted to give you guys a quick update on what we've been up to this week, and then just kind of take it from there, as we always do. So Chris has been running a lot for his 100K run in Utah, which is happening in 4 weeks? Less than 4 weeks. Yeah. He's been doing a great job. Very proud of you. You're doing great. Which kind of forces me to run a little bit too, which is very much needed. I've never been much of a runner. I like to sprint on a court, and that was about it. So a lot of pain for like 10 seconds. This has been good. I think we always say, hey, like, I'm not a runner, or I'm not this, I'm not that. It's like, no, you can be if you want to. And I think Bedros really inspired me with his 6-week challenge thing that he does. Now I've taken up running and archery. So those are my two things. And hopefully they'll last a lot longer than 6 weeks. But
yeah.
So point is, don't ever say you're not something or you don't do something.
Yeah, that was me for years and years and years. And I still don't really like running.
Yeah.
But then I also understand that how important it is, because I don't like it, to do it. And then I say regrettably, but of course it is a blessing. But in my eyes, regrettably, I'm good at it. It just takes me a little bit to get my wheels back under me and get my mobility going, and get back into the running, the proper form, proper posture, and dissecting and doing it all. But once I do, I'm pretty good at it. And then through trial and error, I found that I'm really good at it after 26 miles, which just sounds sadistic, and it is. But the reason is because I've calloused my mind, and whether you talk about like David Goggins or Cameron Haynes or Jeff the Iron Cowboy, Jeff Lawrence, and these people that are just extreme level athletes when it comes to crazy long distances, and doing Cameron Haynes running literally 20 miles a day for ends of time just to get ready for bow hunting. There's a purpose behind it, and there's the idea of like going to a place in your mind and in your body, experience a different level that it's just hard to describe with people, and testing yourself, truly understanding. There's that saying of like, we're redefining the limits of human endurance and the mind, and what it's capable of. And until you've walked that path for yourself, you don't truly understand. You do this crazy wild goal and thing, but you truly understand, like, wait a minute, what am I really capable of?
Right.
If after I finished my first Ironman, I was like, I just did 140.6 miles, swim, bike, run, and I felt that I was holding back in reserve, and I didn't run as fast as I could have, or I could have gone faster on the bike, or my swim technique wasn't the best, and or maybe I should have, if I would have trained a little bit more disciplined, or I did plenty of training. It was just the idea of like dial it in like a professional athlete, or whatever the situation is like, what am I really capable of?
Yeah.
And that's just run for me. It's the running, or in the military the way it was, or whatever I do now. It completely changes my perspective and the way I approach going at anything in life. What am I truly capable of as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a leader, as a community ambassador? And if you're willing to go to unbelievable or unmeasurable limits in your mind and body for a physical athletic adventure, because of the journey, not because of the outcome, but because of the journey, and you allow you're forced to be present. If you treat that the same way as you do being a husband, day in and day out, showing up, being authentic, being the man your wife needs you to be, your kids need you to be, the community, doing the right thing, like day after day after day, it doesn't get mundane. You become more present and understand how important it is. That, oh yeah, the fact that I said to you on day one that what you see is what you get, and I'll always tell you the truth, and I'm always going to be the man you deserve and need, and that hasn't changed to now, and it's not going to change in the future. It's stability, it's safety, it's, you know, no matter how hard it might get, no matter what adversity or, you know, hard thing that may come into our life, no matter how good it might get, staying consistent, staying authentic, I think is a huge benefit to doing hard things, getting outside of your comfort zones.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it truly also comes down to belief. Like we also have, a lot of us, every one of us, we have these deep-seated beliefs that, you know, whether they started in childhood or, you know, wherever along our lifetime, that we are a certain way or that we're not a certain way, or like we keep piling on more and more evidence to support that belief. And we're having this conversation last night. You know, a lot of people say, I got to see it to believe it. But really, it's the opposite. We see what we believe. And we can agree that there's some sort of objective reality that we all kind of agree upon. But for the most part, reality looks very different for every single one of us, because that raw reality is then filtered through lenses and belief systems and perspectives and, you know, filters through all of that. And that's what we perceive. If you believe that you're not good at something, or that you're not going to make it through something, or, you know, you feel like the world is out to get you, everybody's out to get you, horrible things always happen to you, that's exactly what you're going to live through. That's exactly what you're going to get. And that's the reality that you're going to live in. If you believe that there are opportunities, if you believe that you have a growth mindset, if you believe that X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, that's the reality that you're going to perceive. So pick what reality you want to live and dismantle the filters, dismantle the lenses, the belief systems that aren't serving you. And some of these belief systems are, again, they're harder to dismantle than others. And it's not a matter of just like, oh, I have this belief that, you know, for example, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or whatever it is. Sometimes it's not as easy as just letting it go. You're like, oh, I've had this belief my entire life, I'm just going to blow it away. Sometimes you have to like snap it and contort it and, you know, mess with it and get to the bottom of why that belief system is there. Sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes it's really freaking painful. And again, that's where shadow work comes in. Going deep. It's like whatever you think is your core belief, go 10 times deeper than that. We went through this exercise called the downward arrow technique with the Kappa ladies a couple weekends ago. And for example, if you think that you are a bad public speaker, or that you're going to butcher a speech or a presentation or whatever it is, okay, so what? Or you can ask yourself, what does this say about me? It's like, well, I'm going to get rejected. Okay, so what? You're going to get rejected by a room of 50 people. Okay, so what? There's 7, 8, I don't know how many billion people on this planet. It's okay if 50 people don't like you. It's not the end of the world anymore. You're not going to, you know, it's not a life or death situation. And then keep going deeper and deeper. So what? It means that I'm unlikable. So what? It means that I'm dumb. Whatever that is, keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until you get to the actual core problem, the actual core belief. And then you can finally dismantle that. And then once you get there, you then have to, you then need evidence for the opposite.
Yeah, the evidence is there in front of you. You just have to recognize it. Let's like logically first disprove this, and then on top of that, like, well, you couldn't be dumb and still be where you're at. There's process of evolution. It's like Darwin's theory. You have to then reinforce and build what we could like to say is build your foundation up brick by brick. Tear down the walls, like Carlie just talked about, of this bullshit that you keep telling yourself or you're believing that's not true. Get back to the foundation, basis line, and then start building the foundation. And it's going to take work. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna put a brick down, and somebody's gonna come by and kick that fucker.
And you're like, no.
No, you put another brick
my
down.
Brick.
And you just keep going until you stack them up, and then the wall becomes impenetrable. And then you go forward. You know, like one of the things I have the hardest time comprehending is people saying that they can't do something. Or they like, you know, oh, I could never do that. When they hear what I do or what I choose to do for myself, they're like, oh, I can never do that. I'm like, why? Why do you believe that? Why do you think that? Like, you have never given yourself the chance to prove otherwise against what you're trying to tell yourself right now. Don't say you can't do something. You may not be willing to put in the time, energy, or effort, or get the resources,
Or go through the suck.
or go through the shit to get to that. But to say you can't do that. I'm sitting here with a torn ACL, arches that want to collapse, 3 artificial discs in my cervical spine, nerves relocated down both my arms all the way to my hands, 5 bulging discs in my lower back, and I've got freaking crap going on with my hips, but I'm going to go run 100K through the desert of Utah to raise money for kids who have had their just being sexually assaulted or sexually abused, trafficked, and have had their freedoms of life stripped away from them. My fucking heartaches and whatever are nothing. And I'll be damned if I'm going to say I can't do this. You know, and granted that's the extreme, but like, oh, I can't get on stage and speak. Stop telling yourself that. Stop saying that. And give yourself a freaking fighting chance. Maybe you're not the best at it, but guess what? I guarantee you, if you worked at it hard, you actually devoted your time and energy to it to get good at it, you would get good at it.
Well, it's like what Greg always says. He talks about the Dunning-Kruger effect and how it works in reverse sometimes. Like, there are a lot of people out there that speak on things that they shouldn't be speaking on. They think they have a little bit of information and they think that they're gurus on that topic, but it also works in reverse, where you have a ton of information or a ton of experience, a ton of wisdom, a ton of, skills, but you don't think it's enough. And like Chris said, we all start somewhere. What if you do speak on stage and you butcher it? Guess what? It's happened to every single speaker out there. But it's that fear of being rejected or of being, judged or being whatever. It's not life or death. It's going to be okay. You frickin' move on from it. And like Chris said, you just get better and better. Nobody starts as an expert in anything. So I think just, again, going back to the growth mindset versus fixed mindset, you have to start somewhere and it's going to suck and it's going to be okay. And Sharon Lecter always says, when's the last time you did something for the first time? It's like, how boring would life be if you just stuck to one thing for the rest of your life that you're like good at? It's like, no, that the whole point of us being on this earth is to evolve and to grow and to learn. Earth is a school. That's what we're here for. It's for souls to grow and evolve. So Don't be scared to look dumb. We tried archery for the first time. I did for the first time a few days ago, and I couldn't even pull his bow back. So you bet your ass that I've been working on my strength back there so that I can actually pull it back and get some shots in without needing Chris there every time to pull it back. It's like, what, 60 pounds? 60-pound bow? Yeah. I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Mama didn't raise me.
She did that. Well, with that said, it's time to go hit the trail. I got 20 miles to do in this weekend, so.
Yeah, I've got, I don't know.
Whatever she gets done.
To be decided. Whatever I get done.
Ciao.
Ciao for now.